I told him, "You're just the father of my kids, not my soulmate." I messed around and found out. It's been a year. 1 whole year since I told my husband, "You're just the father of my kids, not my soulmate," at a block party. Sounds like the setup to a bad joke, right? Except the joke's on me. Justin's engaged. Her name's Ashley, and she's exactly the type of woman I used to make fun of, the kind who does CrossFit, meal preps, and actually enjoys farmers markets. She's also genuinely nice, which somehow makes it worse. The kids adore her. Emma came home last week talking about how Ashley taught her to braid her hair the cool way, like it was some revolutionary skill I never bothered to learn. That stung more than I'd like to admit. Justin and I were married for 8 years. We weren't perfect, but we had a rhythm. Life was a checklist: get married, buy a house, have kids, repeat. I thought that was enough. But somewhere along the line, I got restless. Not unhappy, just bored. And when you're bored, you start picking apart things that don't need fixing. His laugh was too loud. His jokes too corny. His shirts always slightly wrinkled. I convinced myself that he wasn't the one, whatever that even means. After years of shared bank accounts and school drop-offs, I wanted something more, though I didn't know what. The block party was like any other. Neighbors pretending they liked each other more than they did, kids running around hopped up on lemonade and cotton candy. A couple of drinks in, I was feeling bold. Surrounded by friends who nodded along to my complaints like they were gospel, I don't even remember what led up to it, but I heard myself say, loud enough for Justin and probably half the block to hear, "He's just the father of my kids, not my soulmate." The words hung in the air like smoke from a cheap grill. Justin didn't say anything. He just gave me this look. Not angry, not hurt, just empty. He nodded, turned around, and went back to flipping burgers like I hadn't just torched our entire marriage with one sentence. I thought we'd laugh about it later. We'd had worse fights, after all. But we didn't. That night, he slept on the couch. The next night, too. A week later, he moved out. At first, I was defiant. Good riddance, I told myself. I'd get to rediscover who I was outside of being someone's wife. But the silence in the house grew louder with each passing day. No more clinking of his coffee mug in the morning. No more dad jokes during dinner. Just me, the kids, and the echo of my own arrogance. When he started dating Ashley, I didn't think much of it. Just a rebound, I told myself. But then she stuck around. The kids liked her. Justin smiled differently around her, lighter, freer, like he wasn't carrying the weight of my constant disappointment anymore. The first time I saw them together at the kids' soccer game, she was sitting next to him, laughing at something he said. It was the laugh that got me. It wasn't forced or polite, it was genuine. The kind of laugh I hadn't given him in years. I tried to pretend I didn't care, dated a bit myself, but no one stuck. They weren't Justin. They didn't know how I liked my coffee or that I snore when I've had too much wine. They didn't know the names of my childhood pets or the way I cry during cheesy commercials. Justin knew all of that, and I threw it away because I thought I deserved some grand, sweeping romance. Turns out I had it all along. I was just too blind to see it. The kids started slipping Ashley's name into conversations like it was normal. Ashley makes the best pancakes. Ashley helped me with my science project. I smiled through gritted teeth, nodding along like it didn't bother me. But it did. It still does. Last week, Emma left her school folder at Justin's place. I volunteered to pick it up. When I arrived, Ashley answered the door, greeted me with that same annoyingly perfect smile, and invited me in. I almost declined, but curiosity, and maybe a little masochism, got the better of me. Their house was cozy, filled with the kind of warmth you can't fake. Family photos on the walls, kids' drawings on the fridge. It felt like home, the kind I used to have. I spotted Justin in the kitchen, laughing with our son over something on his phone. He glanced up, saw me, and gave a polite nod. Nothing more. No anger, no sadness. Just a man who had moved on. On the drive home, the folder sat untouched on the passenger seat. I stared at it during red lights, feeling the full weight of my mistakes. I had tested his love, pushed him to the edge, and expected him to fight for me. But he didn't. He left. And the worst part? He was right to. Now, a year later, I'm sitting in the same house, surrounded by the same walls, but everything feels different. The silence is heavier, filled with the echoes of words I can't take back. Don't mistake comfort for complacency. Don't test someone's love just to see if it's real. Because sometimes, they'll pass the test by walking away, and they won't look back.